Just fucking do it. Subscribe now. I've never seen a part-time high-performance person. When I was in the Netherlands, most of the Dutch, who are lazy, but Holland isn't heaven, they want to know if you can do this part-time. It's a way of life to me. I think this way. I'm this way when I wake up in the morning. Except when I'm by myself, I wear boxer shorts and T-shirts. I have 300 or 400 T-shirts that I wear, and I got about 100 pair of boxer shorts, and that's how I dance around the castle in the daytime, even when it's cold. Anything else about the Belgian waffle? Yes, sir.
Maybe Warren Buffett is just a very frugal person.
Is he frugal?
No, Warren Buffett.
Oh, well, that's... yeah, but that's not really the case. I mean, I remember he said for years and years and years and years that you can't justify a corporate jet. And then he bought NetJets. And you really can't... no matter how you cut it, you can't justify corporate airplanes. You can't. And when it came out that Emmelt, when he was CEO of GE, had 2 backup jets that used to follow him around because in case one broke down, and he ran that fucking GE into the ground. And now he's trying to resurrect his legacy about how he was really, 9/11 happened after I took over, and it did just right after he took over. But Jack Welch, although I never had the privilege of meeting, was the greatest CEO in the last 100 years. They used to call him Nitron Jack. He took the company from almost 400,000 employees to 160,000 employees, and took the company from 25 billion in equity to 450 billion in equity. He used to decimate employees. The human resources hated him, and he would he'd keep the real estate, but kill all the people. He invented, so the legend has it, he really didn't invent this, rank and yank. Let's say we got 25 of us in a company. Every year, he supposedly did it every other, you rank all the other 24 of us, and then you rank all the other 24 of us, and you rank, okay. And so the people that are the bottom 20%, you fire. Really, it was the bottom 40% they got fired. And you're being evaluated by your peers. So how can they bitch? They still bitched, but how can they bitch? Rank and yank. He reconstituted corporate America. Now I'm beyond Jack. I want to fire 60% every other year. He used to do supposedly 20% every third year. Legend has it when I was running and gunning, you're fired every third person. It wasn't quite that bad, but it was kind of that bad. You want to get control of a business? Let's say that you're the top 3 producers. 1, 2, 3. You 2 are fired. I can find out a reason for it. And then you've got all the rest of the producers. Well, fuck. If he's going to fire number 2 and 3, you're 6 months from, I didn't do it this way. That's why they say I'm not tough enough. I'd have to wait for 6 weeks before retirement. That's when they used to blow them out. I couldn't do that. I still can't. Let the old bald-headed guy, let him slide, let him retire. But the big guys, the guys that ripped the belly out of the world in the 80s, I was one of them, we used to buy companies with overfunded pension plans. People that had worked 30, 50, 90 years, and the pension plans were all overfunded. We'd buy the company, rip out the money of the valued pension plan. We would pay off the debt and fire everybody and keep the difference. Great arbitrage. I couldn't do that. I'd let Murph's got 18 months to retire. So I would start picking shoes and, he was an altar boy. But the guys that I know, fuck. They wouldn't hesitate. What you wanted is to buy companies that the average age of the employee was 52 to 53 and a half years old, with early retirement at 55. And blow them all out. You want to talk about ruthless? When Marco says that, I think about that. Well, stupid bitch, she didn't know what she's talking about. Now, I know guys that are ruthless. You wouldn't exist in their world. They chop you up like hors d'oeuvres. I mean, worse than that, the worst thing you can think. And they're still around. And the irony is, the kids, the morons, the young kids, don't even know it. That's what you ought to be bitching about the government. That's what you ought to be carrying your fucking placards in front of embassies. Not this global fucking bullshit warming. I mean, the rich get richer. Remember, the only way we're going to do away with the national deficits, the world deficits that are around, is debase the money. That's the only way. They're never going to be able to pay it off. And that means the poor guy that's got $1 and the rich guy that's got $1 million. So now we're debased 90%. Who's hurt the most? That's the only way that you're going to get rid of the deficit. The only way. And no president, no prime minister, is going to belly up to the bar to do that. Yes, sir.
With what you mentioned with firing some of the top performers, like, would you recommend us to do that?
Yes!
Okay.
We're going to talk about that. Because normally the top 3 goals are always a pain in the ass. Because they know they're the top 3 guys. They always want more money. I had a guy once who represented 40% of the bottom line. 40%. His name was Clyde Goins. I kept him. Fired everybody else. Clyde, are you sure you can do this without them? Abso-fucking-lutely, Mr. Peña. Head of Human Resources, get your skinny ass in here. Come here, tits. That's what I used to call her. Tits, come here. No, I don't want you to blow me. Fire everybody. January 1. Except Mr. Goins here. We're making him executive vice president to God. And I's God. And we're going to show you how to fire people. No matter what country you live in, no matter what state you live in, no matter what fucking province you live in, we're going to show you how to fire people the good old way. For cause. You dictate what cause is, though. When people say, I live in New Jersey, I can't fire anybody. I live in Oklahoma, I can't fire anybody. I live in Edinburgh, I can't fire anybody. I live in Belgium. That's bullshit. You can fire them in Netherlands, Belgium, Ethiopia, you name it. We're going to show you how to do it legally. Human resource will hate you. But you can do it. Your wife will hate you. Good. Your kids will hate you. Good. Next time your kids whine about fucking climate change, you ask them, if you could do a magic wand and you could make the earth today stop all the shit, how long would it take? When they hear, if everything went right 1,000 years, well, we all know it's not going to be right? And everybody that's got a half a brain or any money knows that. And that's why fucking Obama buys his $24 million house 9 feet from the water. He's going to live another 20 years, right? At least. It's only the morons. Like in Evita, it doesn't matter what the morons say. And we got people in Spain eating their mother and only get 15 fucking years in prison. Now that to me is criminal. They should have drawn and quartered him, chopped him up, fed him to the fucking rats. That's how fucked the world is now. And thank you, Allah. that makes it easier for us. Because all the morons on the planet's values are in the wrong place now. And we can fuck them for practice. And give all the money to the Catholic Church, Murph. Any questions? Who's my 5 o'clock? 5:30? 6? 6:30? Oh, God, Murph. Is it 8 minutes after 5? Approximately? 15 after? Fuck, this old antique is slowing down like its owner. Okay? Any questions? Now, I wanted to give you, in addition to your movie tonight, don't write about these, but we're going to discuss them. This is, how do you say that word? Okay, that's the fear of everything. He's going to pass them. And this, it's not that you dress like pigs, but this is a website that you can be on for free about how you should dress. And having looked at you, even though I know you're in your best bib and tucker here, you could be better. And just look at this and be prepared to talk about it. Not write, but the movie you're going to see tonight, you will pontificate about another icon, asshole, crook, thief, cheating bastard. And they all fall into the same category. But they're all trying to do, boy, are they trying to paint their legacy. God damn, all the money that they've spent on trying to change their legacy. I mean, Sir Richard Branson wears blazers and suits now from the days that when he was selling advertising from telephone booths. Advertising he didn't own, by the way. And then we got you, goody two-shoes. And I'm not saying for you to, as long as it's legal, moral, and ethical. And morality and ethics swing in the wind, depending on whose side you're on and where you are on the planet. But legal is legal. And that's why a rule of law is so important. And a couple of you, all of you come from a place where there's a reasonable rule of law. A reasonable rule of law. Any questions about anything? Murph, I know you want to say something. Go ahead, Murph.
So this question started to come up earlier. When you're in your chairman, when you have your chairman, and you've talked about this from even the '96 tapes, the old stuff. You don't want to share doubts with
anybody but the chairman. You don't share doubts with your mother, your sister, nobody, only your chairman. If he's your mentor.
So if he's your
But if he's not your mentor, then you don't share doubts with him.
Okay. So you can split chairman from a mentor.
Oh, yeah. I mean, most of the chairmen that you're going to ask won't want to be your mentors.
Got it.
Because, this is in my generation. Implicit in me being your mentor is I have an obligation. It's like being a godfather to your kids, which doesn't mean shit now. But when I was asked to be godfather, 40 years ago, it meant something. Now it doesn't mean dick. So but I mean, at least we have a 2/3 divorce rate of the kids that come to that follow the program, and 2/3 breakup of business partnership rate. And it's really higher than 2/3 for both, but we capped it at 2/3 because we don't want people to know how high it really is. Most of the people up there have been divorced at least once, sometimes twice or 3 times. I mean, since they got on the program, because you may meet somebody after you're successful that says that they can anybody can live with a lot of money, but you're going to have the road to heaven isn't straight. There's speed bumps. You may consider them Mount Everest, but there's speed bumps. And even though I've almost been bankrupt 3 times in my career, not recently, I've always been a big money earner. And the thing I told one of you, I've never had a trouble making a lot of money. Never. When I was in graduate school, I was making 30, 40, 50, 60 grand a month. That's when I had a Rolls Royce when I'm 25 years old. And 30, 40, 50 grand a month 50 years ago was a lot of fucking money. I never had, just like I never had any trouble with girls. Never. And that's why I'm so amused at some of the comments some of the kids make. It's like the first movers. What's it? Bumblebee? What's the name of that thing? What? Bumble. They went public. It's an app for women to make the first advance or something for men. Oh, are you kidding me? And it went public and it's 15, 20, 25 billion dollars in market cap. Are you shitting me? A company because they sent the first motherfucking text? I used to have women put their car keys, their hotel room keys in my fucking pockets at seminars with Sally standing next to me. And now a company's worth $25 billion fucking dollars because some fucking slag with flabby tits made the first text. This is why I know the world is kaput. It's unbelievable. And then the little skinny guys can't even get their willy wet. Jesus Christ. We were put on this fucking earth to pro-motherfucking create. That's it. And to get our willy wet. Not do rape and shit like that. But I can't even believe. I've told Sally, I'm going to go to CNN and tell them how when I was raped, which is a true story. I fought the three of them off the best I could. And then I just closed my eyes and pretended I was someplace else. You wouldn't have fought them off. They were big fat hogs. And I didn't want to penetrate them. What's CNN? What would Anderson, what the fuck's that guy's name? Anderson Cooper? What the fuck would he say? I can just say, Mr. Peña, and how emotionally hurt were you because of that? I really wasn't, Anderson. I only didn't know it was I only realized it was a big deal in the last 25 years when everybody complaining about shit. 40% of the women that come to the seminar have been abused, raped, mishandled. 40%. 30% of the men. 30%. You don't see the guys on CNN with Anderson Cooper, do you? The world's fuck guys. And it's all the more easy for us. It's like it's like shooting fish in a barrel, they'll be on me again, and taking candy from a baby. Now, I used to see, you try to take candy or food from our dog, you get your fingers bitten off. But, it's easy peasy. Our 12-year-old daughter, when she went through the seminar, said, Dad, it's easy peasy. Why doesn't everybody do it? And her older brother said, because they lack a self-esteem, Kelly, to their little sister. Okay, we'll see you at dinner. And read those. You don't have to write about them, but be prepared to talk about them. And you're going to write about the movie tonight. And I'll be ranting and raving later. Thank you. Thank you.